Leave, only family is allowed here. My own father said that to me while I stood on a gravel path outside my brother's wedding, carry-on still in my hand, 18 hours of travel in my bones, listening to a string quartet play through doors I wasn't allowed to enter. My mother stood 2 steps behind him and said nothing. 3 days later, she called me about a bill, a $38,000 bill with my name on it, for a wedding I was turned away from at the door. What I said next made the line go completely silent. If stories like this one hit close to home, subscribe. New ones go up every week and you won't want to miss them. Now let's get into it. My name is Athena. I'm 34, and I work in compliance consulting out of London, reading contracts for a living, finding every buried condition, every line that doesn't say what it pretends to say. What I was never trained for was finding it inside my own family. Growing up in the Sinclair house, there were 2 versions of childhood under one roof. Patrick's version came with a car on his 16th birthday and a father who called him his golden boy. Mine came with filling out my own college applications at the public library because nobody told me the deadlines were coming. I left at 18 and nobody drove me to campus. 7 years ago, I moved to London, bought a flat in Canary Wharf, small, clean, entirely mine. I didn't leave home. Home left me first. The invitation arrived in late September, heavy cream envelope, foil pressed, the kind that costs real money. Inside, a formal invitation to the wedding of Patrick Sinclair and Taylor Redmond at the Whitmore Estate, Charlotte, December 14th. The venue started at $25,000, a reach for a family that couldn't fix the AC in the store. What stopped me from dismissing it was Patrick's handwritten note tucked inside on a separate card. It wouldn't be complete without you. Please come. I booked the flight that weekend. $1,400. There's a difference between forgiveness and curiosity. I was holding the second one with both hands. I landed Friday evening and checked into a hotel. I never stayed at my parents' house when I visited. I called Patrick. Too bright, voice clipped. Just be there by 2. He hung up before I could respond. I called my mother next. The first thing Donna said was, "Oh, you actually came? I thought the flight was so long, I figured you'd change your mind." I sat on the hotel bed in my coat, suitcase still by the door, and let that sentence land. She didn't say she was glad. She assumed I wouldn't show. Something was wrong. I could feel it the way you feel a change in cabin pressure. Nothing visible, just a shift that makes your ears ring. Saturday. Fitted navy dress, low heels, pearl studs. My father was standing at the venue entrance, not inside, but outside on the gravel, next to a leased Cadillac that still had the dealer plate. He stepped forward when he saw me. "Athena, you need to leave." I held up the foil-pressed invitation with my name on it. He looked at it and said, "That was a mistake. You shouldn't have come." Through the glass doors, I could see Patrick in a white tuxedo, laughing. Donna stood in lavender near the entrance, watching through the window. She didn't come outside. "Walk away," my father said. I didn't beg. I turned around, pulled my suitcase across the gravel, and got into the rental car. I didn't cry until the doors were locked and the engine was running. And even then, I didn't cry for the wedding. I cried because I had let myself hope. Tuesday morning. Donna's voice stripped of all warmth. "We need to discuss the bill." "What bill?" "The venue." $38,000. "How will you pay?" The room tilted. Then Gerald took the phone, voice hard. "Don't play dumb. Your name is on the contract. You're the guarantor. You owe this family. I owe this family for a wedding you locked me out of. Handle the bill." My heart hammered, but my voice stayed level. "I have never signed a guarantor agreement for the Whitmore estate." He hung up. That was the moment I stopped being hurt and started paying attention. I called the Whitmore estate at 10:30. An event coordinator confirmed a guarantor on file under my name. When I told her I had never signed any such document, the line went quiet in the way that tells you someone has stopped typing. I drafted the dispute letter in 12 minutes, attached my passport scan, sent it certified. Then I called Rachel, my paralegal friend in Charlotte. There's a contract with my name on it, and I never signed it. She was quiet for 3 seconds. Okay, she said. Now we work. The family calls came Wednesday, 23 Sinclairs, 22 receiving the same story. Selfish. Cold, choosing money over blood. I screenshot every message, every voicemail. Document everything, especially when the story being told isn't yours. Patrick called Thursday. Just write the check. I asked him directly, "Did you know Dad put my name on that contract?" The silence lasted 5 seconds. 5 seconds is a canyon when you're counting. It doesn't matter, he said. I ended the call. He knew. He had known the whole time. The contract arrived Friday, 11 pages, and at the bottom of page 3, a guarantor signature with my name. The pen pressure was wrong. The slant too steep. The letters didn't connect the way mine do. Someone had practiced from a sample and gotten close enough to fool a stranger. Not close enough to fool me. I set the contract beside my passport. My real signature in navy ink. Firm, slightly left-leaning. The looped S and long-tailed A I've written the same way since I was 17. The two didn't match. I said it out loud in that empty hotel room. That is not my signature, and I can prove it. Donna had organized a family brunch for Sunday, 15 people, assembled and primed. My cousin Dylan had warned me. Donna thought she was building a trap. She was building my stage. I ironed a white blouse, paired it with a navy blazer and dark trousers. The outfit of someone presenting facts, not feelings. I went through the folder one final time and drove to Aunt Caroline's house. 15 faces turned when I walked in. Gerald ran the performance from the head of the table. Athena made a commitment. She signed a contract. Now she's refusing to honor it. Donna dabbed her eyes. Patrick's voice was practiced and small. I just wanted my sister at my wedding. Taylor sat beside him, jaw tight, saying nothing. The chorus followed on cue. Uncle Roger, just do the right thing. Aunt Caroline, your parents could lose their home. They weren't asking questions. They were delivering verdicts. I let them finish every rehearsed line. Let them build the rope. Then I stood up. The chair scraped the hardwood and the room went silent. I've been listening, I said. Now it's my turn. I placed the guarantor agreement in the center of the table. My name is on it, but that is not my signature. I laid my passport beside it. This is my real signature. Look at them side by side. Aunt Caroline reached for the contract. Uncle Roger leaned in. Cousin Bates set her phone down for the first time all morning. The signatures weren't close, not when you actually looked. The Whitmore estate is investigating the forgery, I said, and placed the venue's suspension letter on the table. Gerald's face went the color of wet concrete. That's ridiculous, he said. You signed it electronically. Dad. The event coordinator confirmed that an older gentleman submitted this form in person and signed it at the front desk. The room processed that sentence in real time. Gerald's mouth opened. Nothing came out. Aunt Caroline set the contract down like it burned her. Gerald, is this true? It was for Patrick, his voice cracked. We had no other option. Uncle Roger stood. You committed forgery on your own daughter. That is a felony. Taylor turned to Patrick. You knew your father forged your sister's name and said nothing. His voice was quiet. It was worse than quiet. It's a crime, he said. It's not complicated. It's a crime. I raised one hand. I'm not pressing charges. That's not why I'm here. But I need everyone to understand 3 things. I never signed that contract. I owe nothing. I flew 18 hours to be at my brother's wedding and was turned away at the door by the same man who forged my name. And I will not carry debts that were never mine. I looked at my mother. I'm done being the person you call only when you need something signed, paid, or blamed. I gathered the documents and walked out. Monday morning, checking out of the hotel, the email arrived. Following our investigation, including handwriting comparison and witness statements, we have determined the guarantor's signature does not match the verified signature of Athena Sinclair. The guarantor agreement is hereby voided in its entirety. All financial liability reverts to Gerald Sinclair and Donna Sinclair, voided in its entirety. I called Rachel from the car. It's done. She exhaled. You owe nothing. The flight home was 18 hours. I slept for 14 of them. 3 months later, Gerald had sold the Cadillac, liquidated the store inventory, and was working through a payment plan. Donna had a job for the first time in 30 years. Patrick and Taylor were in counseling. Taylor's condition for staying was total financial transparency. In March, a letter arrived in Donna's careful, slanted print. I have no right to ask for anything, but I'm learning what it means to earn a relationship instead of demanding one. I didn't write back, not because I was angry, but because I wasn't ready. For the first time, I let that be enough. In May, I called Patrick. Short, no agenda. I'm glad you called, he said. Just a door left open, not because anyone had earned it yet, but because keeping it shut was costing me more than I realized. Strength isn't about carrying everyone's weight. It's about knowing which burdens are yours. I'd put mine down, and my hands were finally free. What would you have done when that folder hit the table? Tell me in the comments. If this story hit home, share it and subscribe. New stories every week.